Elgato just released a new capture card, the 4KX. This is it. And it does look a little bit like this one, which is the HT60X. They both have an X in the name, but what is the difference between these two cards? And well, you know what? While we're at it, we're just gonna compare some other Elgato cards as well. In this video, we're only looking at the game capture cards that are external. We're looking at the HT60, the HT60S, the HT60S Plus, the HT60X, and the 4KX. The newest one. I will not be talking about any capture card for cameras. I'm using the CamLink Pro, which is an internal capture card for your camera. I did make a video about that, so if you're looking for a capture card for cameras instead, go take a look at this video. This goes the same for the Elgato CamLink. We're not talking about any camera capture cards right here. I also haven't used any of the internal cards, so we're not going to talk about the internal cards, even though they have just released an internal card as well. Sadly, I don't have that one, so I can't test that out. Let's go through the journey of my streaming for a little bit, because I stream Nintendo Switch games. That means that I need a capture card to capture this on my stream. When I started out streaming, I bought this capture card. This is the HT60S. Then I upgraded to the HT60S Plus. When the HT60X came out, they actually sent me this one, so I got to try that one too. And now for a couple of weeks, I've been using this one that just came out, the 4KX. I've not have any reactions that my stream will look worse or anything like that. I didn't have any problems with this card, so we're gonna go over what all cards are and which ones you should get. The first thing to realize is that there's a lot of purposes that you can use your capture card for. For example, you can have a second PC and have your gameplay from the second PC go through your first PC, your streaming PC. You can stream for the Nintendo Switch like I do, the Xbox Series XS or older ones, and the PlayStation 5 or maybe the 4. If you're gonna buy a capture card, you need to know why are you gonna buy this card? What are we gonna use it for? For me, that is using it for Nintendo Switch. Good to know then is what the restrictions on Nintendo Switch are. So the Nintendo Switch can't do 4K. Most of the games are in 1080p, 30 FPS. This means that if we have a capture card that can do 1080p, 30 FPS, we're golden. However, if we're playing on the PlayStation 5, we can do 4K. So it might be nicer to have a capture card that can also do 4K. So let's go over these capture cards one by one and say what the pluses and the negatives are. First, we have the HT60. This is one that I haven't used. And I haven't used that for a reason. When I got my HT60S, the HT60 was a lot cheaper. But the HT60S didn't have instant pass-through. What this means is that if I'm playing, that means that the content, the game itself, will have a delay on my stream. It won't be seen instantly. So if I see something on the stream and I'm getting spooked by it, I'm like, they don't see it yet. After a second, they see why I got spooked. Which I didn't feel like that was a good idea for streaming. It was fine for making videos, but it wasn't great for streaming. They don't really sell the HT60 anymore, but maybe you're low on a budget and you're looking around to get a capture card and finding this one somewhere second-handed. Do not go for this one if you don't have to, because the other Elgato cards are better because they do have that instant pass-through. Then we have the HT60S. I don't know why it's an S, but S from pass-through. It is basically the same as the HT60, however, this one has the instant pass-through. Which is great because, well, you have that instant feedback on your stream. The HT60S has 1080p, 60 FPS, which means basically it is good enough for the Nintendo Switch. I don't think anybody really saw much of a difference between this card and my newest card. I would say if you're streaming for Nintendo Switch, this one is good enough. But the fun thing is that this one might be more expensive than some of the better cards because, well, this one's older and they don't really produce that many anymore. And the new ones, they do produce right now, so they're cheaper. Then we have the HT60S Plus. What did they add this time? It's still 1080p, 60 FPS, but now it supports HDR10. A bit of a geek, but not that much of a geek, so I didn't know what HDR10 was before, but basically it has a bigger color range so it looked better. For the price I could find, this was the most expensive one if you had to pay full price, which is kind of crazy because the next ones are better. Then we have the HT60X. This one supports 1440p, 60 FPS. So in the resolution, they did make a big jump here. And where the HT60S and the HT60S Plus had the output here and the input and the connection to the PC and the headphones on this side, the HT60X has the input, output and USB controls on this side and the headphone jack on this side. So if you're streaming from a PlayStation or an Xbox, Basically, this one is going to give you a better result because it's going to give you better resolution. Now we have the new one, it's the 4KX. And the 4KX basically looks the same as this one, the HD60X. It literally feels the same. It seems to be a little bit lighter, actually, than the last one. Don't know if that's true. Maybe it's just in my head. But for the rest of it, it looks similar. You won't see a difference unless you saw the tag right here that said that this is a new one. I'm glad they marked them so I could, see the difference. But this one can actually do 4K. And we know that the PlayStation and the Xbox can do 4K. Again, the Nintendo Switch can do only 180p. But there might be a Nintendo Switch 2 or anything else. Like, there's like rumors of a new Nintendo console, so if they can do 4K, then you might want to buy this anyway. Because, you'll be prepared. They think that the new Nintendo console is gonna come this year. I don't know about that, but, you might as well be prepared. It can do 144 Hz, and this would be in HDR. And next to that, this is the first capture card that uses HDMI 2.1, which is a better HDMI cable with a higher speed, so you can get a better resolution, better looking footage. So out of all these external capture cards, the new one, the 4KX, is definitely the best one. There's just no doubt about it. They just build up. Would I recommend the 4KX to everyone? No. If you don't have a budget and you're streaming on the Nintendo Switch, it is okay to get any of the other cards. Keep in mind that some of the cards are better, but also less expensive. So from low to high, it's HD60, HD60S, HD60S Plus, HD60X, and then 4KX. So basically, the higher you go up this ladder, the better your capture card is gonna be. Doesn't mean it's gonna be more expensive. So you have to look at the prices and look at what your retailer is offering. I'm gonna leave some links for you to find them easily. Sadly, the HD60 is not available on Amazon anymore. Like I said, they don't really make them anymore. But if you find them second-handed, you might be able to get them really cheap. And note that if you want to stream from the PlayStation and you want to use your headphones, you normally plug your headphones in your controller. To have your audio come through, there is this audio input right here that you're going to need to use. You're going to need to buy another tool called the Elgato Chat Link. And with this Chat Link, I'll probably go for the Pro, but the normal one works too, but go for the Pro, because the Pro is Pro. If you buy this, you can basically also capture the audio that comes between your headphones and your controller. So make sure to do that. If you have a TV without any audio boxes in there, you might need to do this for the Nintendo Switch as well. I'm not sure about the Xbox because I've never actually touched an Xbox, but if the audio goes through the HDMI to your TV, you're able to capture it with the capture card. Let's take a look at what's in the box of the 4KX. We're gonna unpack it and see what's in the box. There's another box in the box. It tells you how to use the capture card right here. Go to elgato.com and go to download the software, and then plug it in your computer and plug it into your console. If your console doesn't send out the audio via the HDMI, you can buy the Elgato Chat Link to actually have the audio go through there instead. Here we have it. This is how the capture card looks like. This is how big it is in comparison to my hand. I do have small hands, so if you're a guy, you probably have a little bit bigger hands, but it's not that big. Here and here we have HDMI in and out. In, as in it goes in from your console to the capture card, so it goes into the capture card. Out, it goes from the capture card to your screen. Here we have a USB-C port. This port is so you can send it to your computer, so you can actually capture it on the computer. Here we have a little book in it. It is the important safety instructions. And then they're hiding something underneath here. Oh, whoops, I'm ripping the box. Boom. But there are some secrets. There's some secrets underneath. This is an USB-C to USB-C cable. Elgato started labeling all their cables, so you can see that this one is 3.2 10 gigabits per second. So they start labeling them, and that's great. And they also put in an HDMI one, and this one is 8K, so this one can support 8K. I'm glad they started labeling them, because then you know which cables you can use for which devices. And they also use this nice smooth material that prevents your cables from getting tangled, which is really great. You also recognize cables a lot better if they look unique, which I like a lot. That's all what's in the box. Let's compare that to the HD60X to see what is different in the unpacking. We need to open it here. We see the instructions for setting it up here. We've got some cables, USB to USB-C cable here. This seems to be HDMI to HDMI. And this is the capture card itself. And there's also a sticker included. I don't think I have any footage from these cards anymore because that was way back in the day. I have them for a long time already. To capture your footage, for example from the Switch, to one of these capture cards, what you need to do is you need to have an HDMI cable. Then you have HDMI in and out. You have to attach your HDMI in, so you just put in an HDMI cable, to your console. So this one goes into your console. In the Switch, you can open the back plate of your dock and plug it in. For the PlayStation and the Xbox, it's just normally how you connect your console to your TV. Then what you need to do, you get this cable, which is an USB-C to USB cable, or USB-C to USB-C, that's also fine. And you're gonna plug it in the thing that says USB. And this one goes to your computer. So the one that you're streaming on. Then there's also one that says HDMI out. You do not need to use this per se, because you could play it via OBS. However, I would recommend having an HDMI cable go from HDMI out to your screen, so you normally see it on your screen that you're normally gaming on. This works the same for all these capture cards. These two are literally looking the same. This one, for example, this is the HD60S Plus. You have the in on one side and the out on the other side, but it basically means the same. I do have another video on how to connect the capture card to your Nintendo Switch. If you're still struggling with that, watch this video. If you have any more questions about any of the capture cards, let me know in the comments. I don't want to make my videos too technical because I feel like you guys just want to get the capture card that is best for you. And I hope I could inform you a little bit like this. If you want to see more Elgato equipment, I do have a playlist right here with tons of Elgato equipment. And if you don't want to miss anything, subscribe right here. And if you don't want to miss anything of my gameplay channel, well, go watch it right there.